Hi Libra, I hope you're doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for March 1st through the 7th. I'm going to be doing relationship as well as career / money, any kind of money situation. I'm going to start with love, do the money and career second. I'm going to timestamp in the description box below for that. So if you don't want to hang out for the relationship part, that's fine. You could just pop forward to that. Also in the description box, you guys are going to find a 20% coupon off of all of my services for the month of March to celebrate my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. So I did make a community post, but just in case you didn't catch that, I just wanted to give you a heads up if you would be interested in getting a personal reading or working with me privately in any way for the month of March. All right, so let's get right into things. We're going to start with a Celtic cross spread for a Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus friends. Anything that Libra needs to know or understand or think about having to do with relationship. Either somebody that they're with, they were with, whatever the situation is. Let's see what we have. Okay. I'm going to be doing a separate spread, guys. Don't worry, where I break out the different configurations of relationship, but I just am a little short on time this week. Okay. So we have the Emperor to start. Fabulous for the... Ooh. Hello. Oh, hello, Libra, having, Jupiter and Mercury conjunct in Aquarius in your 5th house of romance, with the Emperor being complemented by the King of Wands. All right, we'll talk about what that means. Oh, we have the Tower. I don't know, Libra, are you meeting somebody new? Are you ending something and then getting into something extremely spicy? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the other energies say. Sorry, let me just move my stuff around here. 7 of Pentacles, where you're at right now. Yeah. Okay, 4 of Swords, figure. Okay. Just straight out of the gate, a real quick holistic read. I'm just vibing that some of you are in a relationship that's maybe very challenged and you have somebody else either coming in, somebody's interested in you, you're interested in them, and there is like an ending and a beginning and you're confused in the middle of it. Okay. So that somebody needed to hear that, but let's get into breaking down more specifically and see what other messages come up. So we have the Page of Swords coming into this energy, and the Page of Swords is about ideas popping and something, and it could be an epiphany or a realization or a piece of truth that comes from an external source that ends up making you understand something in a little bit of a different way. But you really need to rely on your intelligence and your mind and a practical approach to something. Okay, so you might be again challenged in something having to do with your relationship, but then it's like you realize something again, either within yourself or maybe a friend says something to you, or a family member brings a piece of information to you regarding something either having to do with the relationship or that gets you thinking about your relationship. But whatever it is, there's this newness, right? Because it's Page and incites a new cycle, and Swords are truth, words, and communication. And it's inciting, and this is recently, this is coming into this energy. Now, the Emperor is really great if those of you who are maybe single. So let's just apply for that. The Page of Swords for you could have just been this epiphany and this realization that you don't want to be single anymore, or this realization that that relationship is just never going to work again. Maybe you guys are not together now, and it's time for you to open up your energy to meet somebody new. So if you're single, this can be meeting someone new who's fantastic, who values tradition, who really wants to be a ride or die. They might be a little stubborn, but that's okay. The rest of it will make it worth it. For those of you in relationship, though, you might be having an epiphany about a realization concerning your marriage, concerning your relationship, whatever it is. And this is you guys making future plans in a very practical way to address any sort of current issue that you guys are going through in your relationship. And you're going to know what's resonating with you. Like, that would probably not be the deal if you guys are in a very bad space right now, where that would apply to couples who are Just maybe realizing, oh, maybe we need to sell our house, or maybe it's time to have a baby, or maybe it's that, whatever it is, where your relationship is good, it's pretty good, but you just have to realize this next evolution of your relationship together. Now, we do have this working with the King of Wands, and this is all about really tapping into wanting to be a free spirit. So maybe you're discussing how held back you feel within a relationship, could certainly be it, or they're having this discussion, or you guys just saying together, like, we just want more fire in this relationship. How can we change that? Right? This is a very expressive energy, and because it's fire, it's Cancer and Leo in astrology. So there is this very fiery element, right? And this need to express yourself and really go after what you want. And it's more about, the King of Wands energy really is more about, though, going at, like, trying a different approach that makes you feel good, right? Even if it's not perfect, even if you're not perfect, they're not perfect. It's just about going after something and allowing that fire in you to lead the way. You don't want to allow, now the possibility here also with the King of Wands is you end up allowing perfectionism to get in your way, right? And of get in the way of you moving forward in a relationship, or you giving that person a chance, or whatever it is. You want to be careful of that. So for example, if you're meeting a new guy or new woman, right, who's this Emperor, and they have like so many great things going for them, but with the King of Wands, you might be like, oh, but maybe they don't make enough money, or oh, maybe, I don't know, their hair bothers me, or something like that. You don't want to get too tripped up on any element of perfection. Same thing if you're in a relationship. It is this idea of, you feeling, the Emperor energy is just very much like wanting to work something out in a relationship, but you don't want to let the idea of something needing to be perfect trip you up, right? Release that and understand that there is nothing that's perfect, right? Now, some of you may really be challenged by this. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries energy as well, because the Emperor is Aries, as many of you know, in astrology. I talk about that a lot on my channel. But so something's not perfect, but yeah, and you don't want to hyper focus on the negativity of a situation. Really, is the caveat here, as we do have the Tower as the crowning energy here, which is about a very quick change in circumstances. In a relationship, something comes to light, a secret or a realization, whatever it is. But it can be shocking, and it's time to let go of past patterns of relating. Now, equally, you might experience a very, very intense physical or spiritual attraction that ends up having a really profound impact on you, just like living your life. So you might be obsessing, to like the nth degree, even though you don't want to, about that person, about that situation, whatever it is. And it's an uncomfortable energy because it's very intense. It sounds sexy and fun, right? But the thing is, maybe it's not reciprocated, or maybe it's a situation that you can't really work out right now. So for some of you, you might actually like be in a situation and have this attraction to somebody else, and that might be highlighting where you are not happy in this current relationship. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you're just not happy in whatever connection you're in, and you meet this other person, or you have this other energy, and they're sort of I'm not going to say stealing your emotions, but almost like busying your emotional space, and you're very focused on them, and you may not even realize it subconsciously, so that you don't have to focus on the the discomfort, or the unhappiness that you're having in your current relationship. I hope that makes sense, because that's going to resonate with somebody, okay? Others of you, it's literally going to mean like the ending of something, but it's because something wasn't working. You have to understand, something was not meant. It had a lot of holes in the foundation. So, Tower is Mars energy. Mars puts the lights on, is like Libra. Really look at the reality of this situation. Is this really what you want for yourself? Really? Long term? And the thing is, Mars does this. Mars gives us red flags. lots of red flags, and he's very actually patient. Even though he's a fire energy, he's very patient with waiting for us to notice the red flags. But if it gets to a point where we refuse to look at them, we could talk about them and stuff, but we don't want to really honor them, he'll come in and take something away. That's what ends up happening here with the Tower. The Hermit energy is the foundation, can indicate you going it alone for a moment, but really about going within. It's actually a healthy card because it's problem solving. It's a problem solving energy. This is Virgo, right? So it's about healing, self-exploration, going within, being on a quest for your personal truth, a lot of self-analysis. And if you are alone, or at least feeling alone, it's because whatever you've been in up to this point hasn't been meant for you. And it's time to do some solid work on yourself. And in doing that, that would include really considering your past experiences so that mistakes aren't repeated in the future. And for those of you who are in a relationship, then it's time to invest more energy and work to smooth over issues that really need addressing. Because whatever was happening up to this point can't continue. To me, I feel like this is going to go for all Libras, whether you are single, complicated, married. It's like there's been this impasse that's been reached, and it makes absolute sense to me because you have the energies that you have going on in your 5th house and your 7th house. You have a lot of stuff going on here. If you want to know more about the astrology of the month, guys, I did just put everything into a video for the month, and I did break it out into the individual signs to discuss like impact of houses, so you could just check that out because there's too much going on this month that's kind of complicated for me to just give as a little preface to the video. So you might want to check that out. Now, in your position, we have the 7 of Pentacles for you. And I feel like a lot of you are really focused on work right now. Honestly, that's going to resonate with many of you. Others of you, though, you're being patient because you feel like no matter what you're in right now, even though you know something needs to change, even though you feel we're pretty alone in the situation, okay, you feel alone, all of that, you're still being patient and you don't want to give up because you do feel intuitively that it's almost like you're almost there. There's a lot of potential for this to work out ultimately if everybody could just show up in the way that they need to. And of course that segues into the question, well, first the fact that you can't mitigate somebody else's stuff, and then the question, are they in the same mindset as you, right? Because that obviously is really important. But then for others of you are totally allowing the end. You're just like, I know I'm realizing this is just really not meant for me, so I'm just not going to give up on relationship. I'm going to be very patient. I know that there is an energy out there for me. Or if you're meeting somebody new and your relationship is ending and there's a new energy here, you being very patient with the process, that perhaps something still needs completion in the ending, and then you need to be patient in how you're going to move forward with this new person. I want to give different interpretations because this is a general reading, so it depends on what's aspecting your personal chart. Obviously, there's no way I could know that, unless I work with you privately. But, and I'm not plugging myself there. That's just a dose of reality. Like, these are just general messages. Now, we have the 3 of Cups here as an external energy, which is super supportive. I like this. So, celebratory energy, circle of support, but there's healing here. Really good energy for a new relationship. As remember, 3 is the number of creation. So I feel like some of you may be having the offer of a new relationship, the offer of a new connection. Many of you are going to be that. Others of you are just going to be spending some solid time with maybe your family, your friends, your kids, whatever, whoever feeds your heart, right? And just feeling a lot of support right now. Feeling a lot of support. Now, the challenge here is the 4 of Cups energy. So there's something that you are having a hard time releasing from within yourself. First of all, this does indicate restlessness and boredom and apathy. And if those of you who are single or you're in between things, you might be feeling very disillusioned right now. Like, it's the kind of thing, it's like, why can't I meet like that person that you know, that's right for me. I always feel like I'm trying to fit a circle in a square kind of thing, right? And you have this checklist where it's like, I can't be with anybody who does this, this, and this, and I can't do that, you know, whatever. But the reality is, underneath all of that is there's this need to heal past unhealed issues inside of yourself. And you're going to know if that interpretation is for you. Now, for those of you who are still trying to really work at a relationship, you know, and you're being patient and you're trying to heal and all of this, right now your challenge is that you're bored and you don't want to be bored. And that's, you know, it could certainly be that for those of you who are in something. Some spicing up needs to go on, you know, and there needs to be realization of like why you feel bored outside of the obvious COVID stuff, right? And then we have the Queen of Cups as your near future. Queen of Cups is a great energy. This is Gemini and Cancer in astrology. Really beautiful energy for you to adopt. This is very loving and giving. This is making the world a better place, to be honest with you. But as a general influence, Libra, this is falling in love, a deepening of love, an emotional honesty about what's needed to make something work. So really a beautiful, beautiful energy. Really, regardless of your situation, if you're single, it's falling in love. If you are complicated, it's figuring things out. You know, if you're married and everything else is going okay, you guys making some changes, but you guys ending up stronger at the end of it. So you can obviously know how that's going to resonate with you. But we have the final outcome energy as the Four of Swords, which is interesting to me to get as a final outcome, because this is about taking a time out for like, kind of like recoup from something or recover, step back to get a better perspective on something. A really good energy for therapy or shadow work, or to figure out a better strategy for moving forward, you know, regarding that situation within the relationship. So maybe you guys are deciding to go to couples counseling, or you're deciding to go to therapy to help you become an even better version of yourself, or but just a stepping back to really think about relationship and what you need and what you don't need in order to be really, really happy. So very nice energy there. But I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it and say this is going to be easy, because that'd be straight up lying to you, Libra. Are you dealing with a Virgo? I said Virgo. Looking at the Hermit card, saying Virgo. You might be dealing with a Virgo, I don't know, but definitely doing a lot of work on yourself, a lot of realization. I do feel like a lot of you are sort of in between things. Sending you air hugs from here, my friend, for real. If that's because it's just not easy. That's all. It's not easy. Let's see if we can get some more information about the psychological components going on here. Addiction might be at play here. Yeah. We have love, healing heart, addiction, girl with a snake, keys on a ring. So let's just pull some of my cards to clarify. So clarifying the love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection. So the idea of love. Now this could be you saying this, or your partner saying this, or you both saying this. You think I pull away from you. I don't. You push me away. There's a difference. Okay, working with healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. And then we have, let's focus on healing together. Addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. And then we have that clarified by, you are not good for me, yet I yearn for you constantly. I need to think about this. Girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charged or charmed or used. Enabling boundaries. Yeah, this is like a very narcissist energy. I mean, the addiction and the girl with the snake really are narcissistic energy. Right? The empath and narcissist paradigm. I know I lack balance, but it's not so easy to look at. So somebody knows intuitively that they have stuff going on. They might have a hard time addressing it. We have keys on a ring, many options, decision, unconventional, string along, a one-night stand. So there might be somebody running away from the responsibility of something here. It says, I can't be with you. I see too much of myself in you, and I don't like myself. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I need to just like pull a Moonology card. Get some final advice here for our Libra friends. What does the moon want? Ooh, what do you need to release? Waxing moon. What do you need to release, Libra? All right, my friends, pretty powerful reading. That is what I have for you for the relationship section of the reading. I hope that was helpful for you or to you in some way. Let's clean these up. And we're going to get right into career. So when I say career, I don't only mean what you do for money. It's also anything that you're in that has any sort of financial connection. So buying a home, selling a home, inheritance, insurance payout, divorce settlement, alimony, money having to do with the stock market, anything like that, okay? So anything like that. Let's see what we get here. What do I want to use for you? Let's use these for messages regarding money, career, I feel like a lot of you are very creative right now too. You have a nice energy going. You have Jupiter and Mercury conjunct in Aquarius in your 5th house. That happens to be the house of romance too, but it's also creativity, these sort of entrepreneurial efforts that you might want to take on. So I do like that. Let's see what we have. Chariot, Page of Cups reversed. This could also have to do with like a field of study that you're in, because that would ultimately end up having to do with your money, right? Anything having to do with that. So we have the 5 of Swords in the past. So you might have been in a fight that you're like, what the hell am I doing in this fight? This isn't even my problem here, you know? It's a clash of desires and reality with tensions and ongoing conflict that you feel intuitively or that you're experiencing you're not going to be able to win, right? So it's really just better to walk away with grace and deal with your anger and disappointment just in I want to say with grace. It's like walking away with grace, right? It's the best way to put it, because you can't mitigate a situation. It's like it's bigger than you. It has little to do with you at the end of the day, but it's uncomfortable for you to be in, and you want something. But again, there is this clash between how you would ideally like things to be and the reality of something. But it's not something that you could really win. So you might lose the battle, but it doesn't mean you're going to win the war. It doesn't mean you're going to lose the war. You know what I mean? So there's some sort of situation going on having to do with money. Now, it could be money within your marriage, having to do with any sort of shared resources as well. Again, anything having to do with money, you apply it however you see fit. So that's coming into this energy. Now we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is as an influence, this is a really good time to really express what it is that you want and go after what you want. And don't allow the fact that you may not have all your ducks in a row. Something might not be completely ideal. If you want to launch that thing, if you want to get that thing out there, do your work, do your best to work to get it as ready as it can be in order to launch it. As long as it's something that really speaks to your heart, as long as it's something that's going to make you feel like you're tapping into your creativity and you're allowing yourself to be a free spirit. Because remember, this is Cancer and Leo is that 5th house energy, which is all about creativity. And that happens to be where you have Jupiter and Mercury conjunct in Aquarius from March 4th to 5th. And I always say like a day here, a day before, a day after. So I'm generally saying it's the vibe of the week for you. So I really like that. Now, doing your own thing, being your own thing, allowing yourself, you might even be meeting somebody who's very sort of different and passionate that might be helping you on your path. you know, as there's a person, this is generally somebody who's pretty smart. They have high standards. They're very self-aware. They don't judge people on their backgrounds or beliefs. They love to hear other people's experiences, you know, when somebody's like really hearing you. This person respects people who don't conform, you know. So like if this is a new business partner or something like that, they're very passionate, very communicative about what it is that they want. They're really nice. And that this is working with the Ace of Swords. I would say that this is complementing. Very nice. Auspicious for all areas of your life. New beginning, decisions, clear thinking, having to do with work or any money situation. But an immediate change to circumstances for the better. You're going to be very mentally agile. Just remember, assertiveness is going to bring success. You don't want to be too zealous, though. Don't be too assertive. Again, aggressive is better. But really nice. You're going to feel very passionate about something regarding money. So maybe starting that business, launching that idea, or just your motivation for work in general could certainly be at play here. And we have the Chariot as the crowning energy. So quick changes in progress in a business situation that's really going to help to push you forward or bring something to fruition. But whichever it is, it's going to be really good for you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to bring positive news in finances, but you are going to need to work really, really hard. Just understand that. Now we have that as the best to be achieved here. The situation here right now, though, we have the Page of Cups in the reverse. We have the Page of Cups in reverse. This does indicate some immaturity or maybe quitting something or needing to leave something right now. This could also indicate dependence on maybe the money that you're making. So you have all of these good ideas, but you can't leave something that you're doing just yet or make those changes that you really want to incite like yesterday, because you might need to, you know, keep everything status quo because of the money right now. It doesn't mean it's going to stay like that. It just means that that's what it is right now, as this is the current situation, but the best to be achieved is the Chariot. So I do feel like a lot of you guys are growing yourself in your work, or if you're not growing yourself, you're changing the way in which you work. That's going to end up serving you a lot better. Right now, you're the Strength reverse. So the Strength reverse can be about, first of all, self-sabotage, and fear, lots of fear. Somebody may be abusing power over you right now, and that may have something to do with this Five of Swords energy as well. So you may feel like there's some sort of manipulation, some sort of activity that's going on that's almost without, not within your reach. Okay, could certainly be that. But for many of you, you may be experiencing like a weakness and difficulty with decision making right now, where you're risking any kind of necessary confrontation, and you may end up ignoring your instincts in the name of safety or ease. But this is going to end up stunting your growth ultimately in a situation. So be careful of overthinking. Be careful of like analysis paralysis. It's best to face whatever it is and be grateful for the lesson in the experience, because whatever it is not going to go away on its own. So I hope that makes sense to you. We have the energy of the Five of Pentacles external to you that's impacting you. Five of Pentacles is a test of resources, financial issues, maybe a fear of financial issues, just worried about money. So you really need to consider a new option that's going to help you see a way forward. Okay, now that I'm speaking of this as a general energetic influence. Now at the same time, this could be somebody that you're dealing with who has these concerns. So you might be dealing with somebody who feels really financially strapped, and they're just so afraid of losing their security. They're afraid of, losing maybe their home or whatever it is. So maybe you're dealing with somebody that you're in business with, or this might even be your partner. It could be business partner, it could be, marriage partner maybe. You might be dealing with an energy who's really concerned about their finances, the finances of a situation, and that's impacting you as well, right? So it's almost like one thing is impacting the other. Like their fear is creating the situation in you where you're not able to make a decision, or they might be trying to over control a situation, and that's maybe intimidating to you. So we have the Ten of Wands in your challenge. So the Ten of Wands is about, the card of overwhelm. It's stress, feeling really kind of taken over by a situation, mentally. responsibilities, burden, overloads of demands, you know, just overwhelmed. And this is your challenge right now. So you're feeling really stressed out. And we have the Lover's energy in the near future, which is always about a decision, right? So, and between a couple of things, right? Always. So having to do with career, this means choices. And one option may seem easier, having to do with some sort of choice within your money situation, but you have to look closer to make sure it's the best thing for you in the long run. You don't want to make something all about the money. That's the thing. Even if you're concerned about money, you can't make it all about the money, because you're going to end up shortchanging yourself, literally, at the end of the day, if you do that. Now we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, you know what? I just feel like there's some stress going on for you. Just this particular week, guys. It's a week, but I feel like there's still movement forward. Important things energetically are being set up for you this week. The Nine of Swords is about anxiety and overwhelm and trouble sleeping and maybe even depression for some of you, and just not responding well to external stress that's happening regarding finances, because your way out of something is not clear to you. So whether it's out of that marriage, out of that job, out of that business agreement, out of that lawsuit, figuring out a way to deal with that inheritance issue, whatever it is, it does seem like you're having a really hard time seeing a way out. Look at this. We have the fifth house, right? I did talk about that. Let's see. Yeah. So your fifth house energy, I mean, the main thing that you have going on, it's actually this week out of the whole month. We have Jupiter, which is about expansion. Mercury is about communication, and they're coming together in Aquarius, which is about needing to make decisions regarding moving forward into the future. And what is it with the North Node? What do you have to learn? Because the North Node is in Gemini right now. So it's about releasing something in that Sagittarius energy about your belief system and recognizing that there's a new way of communicating, a new way of being that you have to figure out here. This could also be the North Node being in Gemini is also about doing business, signing things on the dotted line, signing contracts, right? And then we have it. Will you look at this? We have it in Aquarius. How crazy how it aligns with the astrology, right? Can't make this stuff up. So this is what's going on this week is going to be very important for the long term of your finances or your work situation. So this does seem to be a pretty important week for you, particularly for those of you in the air, in anything that has to do with having a creative approach to something. And also, you know, the fact that Mars is in Gemini in your ninth house, which has to do with belief systems, and the ninth house is the house of Sagittarius, I just feel like you're going to be needing to change your perspective on something. Cancer, beautiful. Allowing yourself to figure out what it is that you need to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. Very important. Cancer is home. So you might be thinking about your home something, but it could also be a metaphorical home, meaning what do you need to feel very grounded and rooted. But you may feel very defensive this week as well. Moody. Don't be surprised if you feel moody, if you feel defensive, and if you have a trouble sleeping. At the same time, you're feeling very nostalgic about a situation. Okay, I just want to put it out there. But this is like a necessary step in the process that you're going through. Before anybody comments that this is a negative reading, I really don't think it is. I just think to me, it's just part of the explanation of a process that's going on. So hopefully some of you, if you are resonating with this, it's validating. Something needs to be looked at. And there's got to be a release. Because look at this. I mean, we have the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Chariot. This is so, so good. And the fact that we have the Page of Cups and the Strength energy, you're in something right now that's going to be changing. Because you can't have the best to be achieved out of the circumstances be the Chariot and it not end well. It's going to end well. But where you're at right now, it means that you have to actually make that work for you. It's not going to happen on its own. So if you're feeling poked at something that needs addressing, you can't ignore it. You have to address it. Remember, with the Strength reverse, this is you. You have to address it. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.